ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. There is a version of you that does not chase. There is a version of you that does not beg. There is a version of you that doesn't have to scream her worth because the room already knows it the moment she walks in. And that version of you, that's who men chase. Everybody talks about confidence like it's this thing you got to perform, like it's a show you put on for the world. But let me tell you something. Real confidence ain't loud. It don't need a microphone. It don't need an audience. It don't need to scream, look at me. It walks in the room and changes the temperature without saying a word. Because real confidence, that kind of confidence is undeniable. You ever seen somebody walk in a room and everybody just feels it? They're not doing too much. They're not talking the loudest. They're not dressed the wildest, but there's something about them that's confidence. That's the kind of energy that makes people lean in. And let me tell you something, ladies. That's the kind of energy that makes a man take notice. That's the kind of presence that don't chase nobody. It draws everything in. See, when you loud with it, when you got to post it, flaunt it, show it, shout it, that ain't confidence. That's insecurity in a costume. That's you hoping somebody claps loud enough so you can believe in yourself. But when you really got it, when you really know who you are and what you're worth, you don't need confirmation. You don't need likes. You don't need approval. And you sure don't need to beg anybody to see you. Confidence is built in the quiet. It's built in those moments where nobody is watching. It's built when you get up after failing, when you keep showing up for yourself even when it don't feel good. It's built when you know your worth even after somebody didn't choose you. Because let me be real with you, people who are chosen by others ain't always confident, but people who choose themselves over and over, those are the ones who radiate something different. You want to know why confidence is so attractive? Because it's rare. It's rare to meet someone who's not trying to impress, who's just being, who ain't trying to compete with nobody because they know there's no competition when you stay in your lane. Confidence is peace. It's stability. It's the kind of thing that says, I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. It's not about walking in thinking you're better. It's about walking in knowing you belong. And let me break this down for you, because some of y'all think confidence means being aggressive. No. Confidence is calm. Confidence don't need to check your phone 50 times to see if he texted back. Confidence says if he didn't, that's his loss. Confidence don't blow up somebody's phone trying to prove you're worthy. Confidence says I'm not going to beg anyone to see was already obvious. Men can smell desperation, just like they can feel confidence. And believe me when I say this, a confident woman is unforgettable. She's not trying to convince. She's not trying to be chosen. She's already chosen herself. And that's what makes men chase. That's what makes people respect you, because you respect yourself. And listen, don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. It's putting on a show. Confidence is rooted. It's solid. It don't have to tear nobody else down to feel good. It don't have to flash it, fake it, or force it. It just is. It shows up in how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you handle rejection, how you respond when things don't go your way. So stop thinking you got to be the loudest woman in the room to be noticed. Stop thinking you got to compete with anybody. Just be undeniable. Handle your business. Walk with grace. Speak with purpose. Move like your presence is a privilege, because it is. That kind of confidence, that's what makes heads turn. That's what gets remembered. And that's what gets chased. That's what they don't teach you. But now you know. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down for you. Confidence is not something you put on like a costume. It's not loud, because loud is usually trying too hard. Real confidence is quiet but undeniable. When you carry yourself with that kind of energy, men chase, not because you're begging or trying to prove your worth, but because your mindset says, I'm the prize. And when you believe that, the world has no choice but to believe it too. You have to value yourself like you're rare, because you are. There's nobody else like you. Stop giving discounts on your time, your love, or your standards to people who haven't even earned them. You don't negotiate your self-worth. If you don't respect yourself, don't expect anybody else to respect you. That's rule number one. Chasing, that's rooted in fear and lack. But what if I told you that you don't have to chase? That you can sit back, focus on your growth, your goals, your happiness, and let what's meant for you catch up. When your mindset is right, the right people will come find you, because men chase what they respect, not just what they want. Respect is a currency. And when you walk in the room like you own it, when you speak with conviction and act with purpose, you demand respect. You don't have to scream it or force it. It's naturally given to those who know their value and refuse to settle. You don't beg for a seat at the table when you already own the room. Your mindset is the filter that attracts or repels everything in your life. If you're thinking small, settling for less, you attract small, less than experiences. But when you think big, when you know your worth, and you set your standards high, you raise your vibration, and guess what? That vibration pulls in the right energy, the kind of energy that chases, that pursues, that respects. Let me tell you, confidence isn't about being loud or flashy. It's about being calm, grounded, and sure of yourself. Real confidence is knowing you're enough, even if nobody shows up to tell you that. It's built when you get up after failure, when you keep going, even when nobody's watching, when you love yourself on your worst days. You can't fake confidence. People see right through it. But when you're authentic and real, that's magnetic. Men don't chase what's fake. They chase what's real. They chase what they feel respect for. And respect starts with self-respect. Don't confuse arrogance with confidence. Arrogance is loud because it's scared. Confidence is quiet because it's secure. Confidence doesn't tear others down. It uplifts itself. Confidence doesn't beg, it waits. Confidence doesn't compete, it owns its lane. Stop waiting on validation from others to feel good about yourself. You don't need a man's approval to know your worth. You don't need a relationship to feel complete. When you're whole on your own, that's when men chase. Because you become a woman with options, not a woman chasing them. Be clear about what you want and what you won't tolerate. Set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. When a man sees a woman who knows her boundaries and sticks to them, he respects her more. He chases her because she's not desperate. She's deliberate. You can't rush this mindset. It's a journey. But every step you take toward loving yourself more, toward valuing yourself higher, the less you'll feel the need to chase, and the more you'll experience men chasing you. You don't have to change yourself for anyone. Real confidence is about embracing your flaws and your strengths equally. It's about owning your story, your experiences, and walking in your truth. And let me tell you something. Men don't chase what they don't understand. So be clear. Be confident in your communication. Be confident in your actions. Show up fully for yourself, and they'll have no choice but to chase. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Your actions and mindsets say everything that needs to be said. Be patient, trust your process, keep growing, keep shining, and watch how the right people come running toward you. Remember, men chase when you have this mindset. It's not about games or tricks. It's about self-love, respect, confidence, and clarity. When you have that, chasing becomes unnecessary. You become the one who is chosen, the one who is pursued, the one who is respected. So don't chase, level up your mindset, and watch everything else fall into place. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about something every woman needs to hear. Men chase wins when you have this mindset. Now, I'm not talking about playing games or tricks. I'm talking about that real deep mindset that makes you unstoppable and magnetic at the same time. First, confidence ain't about shouting from the rooftops. It's quiet but undeniable. When you walk in a room knowing your worth, men notice that. Confidence says, I'm not desperate. I'm not begging. I'm the prize. And that kind of mindset makes men chase you because they see a woman who knows her value and doesn't settle for less. Second, value yourself like you're rare. You are. You've got something special that nobody else has, so stop giving discounts on your time, your love, and your standards. Men chase what they respect, and respect comes when you treat yourself like the treasure you are. Third, stop chasing and start attracting. When you're focused on building your life, your goals, your happiness, you stop worrying about who's calling back or texting first. The right men will chase you because you've created a mindset where you're not running after people, you're running toward your own greatness. Fourth, men chase what they respect, not just what they want. And respect doesn't come from desperation or neediness. It comes from strength, from knowing who you are, and from standing firm in your standards. When you hold your head high and refuse to settle, men will step up because they recognize a woman who won't be played. Fifth, you don't have to beg for a seat at the table when you own the room. This mindset is about owning your space, speaking your truth, and carrying yourself with dignity. When you do that, men chase because they see a woman who is powerful and in control of her life. Finally, your mindset is the filter. It attracts or repels everything in your life. If you believe in yourself, if you walk with purpose and clarity, you attract men who are on your level, who respect you, and who chase you. But if your mindset is rooted in doubt or insecurity, you'll chase and never catch. So ladies, remember this. Men chase when you have this mindset. Be confident, value yourself, stop chasing, command respect, Own your space and walk with purpose. That's how you become irresistible. That's how you make men chase. Let me tell you something about confidence. A lot of folks think confidence means being loud, flashy, or the center of attention. But real confidence, it ain't loud. Real confidence is quiet. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to yell or prove itself because it already knows its worth. When a confident woman walks in a room, you don't need to hear her voice booming to know she's there. You feel it. It's undeniable. See, confidence is not about the volume of your voice or how many people notice you. It's about how you carry yourself when nobody's watching. It's about that steady, calm assurance deep down that says, I know who I am and I'm enough. And that kind of confidence, it doesn't fade depending on how many likes you get on social media or whether a man texts you back. It's built on something way stronger than external approval. Think about the last time you saw someone truly confident. Maybe it was a woman who didn't have to brag or show off to get respect. Maybe she wasn't the loudest in the room, but every eye was on her. That's what I'm talking about. She didn't have to convince anybody. She didn't have to try. She just was confident. And that, my friends, is magnetic. That kind of confidence pulls people in, including men. Men chase that energy because it's rare and real. Now, I'm gonna be honest, confidence ain't something you're born with. It's something you build. It comes from showing up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It comes from surviving your hardest days and still loving yourself when nobody else does. It's built in those quiet moments where you choose self-respect over self-doubt. Real confidence is knowing your value so deeply that the opinions of others don't shake you. It's knowing that rejection doesn't define you, failure doesn't stop you, and mistakes don't erase your worth. When you have that mindset, you walk through life like you own it. Not because you're better than anybody else, but because you believe you deserve good things. And let me tell you, men notice that. Here's the truth. Men don't chase noise. They chase presence. They chase a woman who is steady, sure, and secure. When you move desperate, when you try too hard to prove you're worthy, men sense it. And that sends them running the other way. But when you calm and sure, when you don't need to force attention, men will chase. Because your confidence is like a magnet. You see, confidence is a quiet power. It's the power to say no when you want to say yes. It's the power to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't serve your best interest. It's the power to love yourself first and hardest without waiting for anybody else to do it for you. And when you do that, men will chase you because they see a woman who won't settle. They see a woman who stands her ground. I want you to hear me when I say this. Stop confusing loud with confident. Just because somebody talks a lot or tries to be the loudest in the room doesn't mean they're confident. Sometimes that loudness is hiding fear, insecurity, or low self-esteem. But real confidence is secure. It's steady, it's calm, and it's something men chase because it's authentic. Another thing about confidence is that it doesn't need to compete. A confident woman isn't worried about what other women are doing. She isn't comparing herself to anybody else. She's too busy loving herself and building her life. That kind of mindset, it's powerful. It makes men respect you because they see you respect yourself. And let me remind you, confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is loud because it's scared.